So good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming along. If you're a new Optimum partner or perhaps thinking about upgrading from Advantage, we hope this session will clearly show you all that the Optimum partnership offers. Today, we're going to talk about the features, the functionality, and the automation of the much-loved Optimum partnership. Just a reminder, as always, the session will be recorded and will be available in a few days on the charity support site, which you can access from your MuchLoved partner area. Just click on the Manage and Training and Support tab. So today I am joined by my colleagues, Katie and Michelle, both of whom have worked in the charity sector for many, many years and have lots of experience in actually using MuchLoved. Together, we're looking to answer any questions you might have. Just pop any of them in the chat box and we'll go through them at the end of the session. On this screen, you can see a list of all the functionality of the MuchLoved Optimum partnership. But what we're going to do today is go through each element as we move through the slides so that we can share some imagery and you can see exactly how it looks on your website. First of all, let's take a look at your website and the options you've got for presenting MuchLoved to your supporters. Optimum partners have a variety of ways in which they can present MuchLoved on their websites. Widgets, optional additional widgets, a fully customized landing page, and branded links, which is what are used by the MuchLoved Advantage partners. I'm going to go through each of these individually so you can actually see how it looks on your own website. First of all, we have the widgets. So the widget is a little bit of coding that we write for you and send to you along with a demo page. So you can actually see how it's going to look on your website once implemented. The widgets are embedded into your charity website, which keeps the supporter on your website as they create their MuchLoved pages. MuchLoved have got a couple of optional widgets. On the screen here, you can see the listing widget, which shows the tributes in a list form on your website. This means the supporter can click on a tribute to see just what a tribute page is. And as you can see with this page from North London Hospice, they're showing the MuchLoved animation video at the top of the page. Then as the supporter scrolls down, they can see the listings widgets and see some tributes. And then they will actually reach the widget when they can create their own page if they want to. So they've been given lots of examples as they move towards creating their own page. Just to remind you as well, the MuchLoved animation video is free for you to use if you want to use it on your website. And if you would prefer to have a branded version, you can do so. Just reach out to your account manager and they will let you know the details and the costs. The other optional widget is the details widget. This sits on your website. So when the supporter types their loved one's name into the search box, it will actually pull through the details of the widget of the tribute itself, and they can see the tribute details there. And also if they scroll down a little bit further to the bottom of the page, they can then actually click through to view the tribute themselves. Moving on, we've got our customized landing page. So the landing pages can be fully customized. You can choose your imagery, you can choose your wording, the button colors, everything. You can really make it a lovely place to look at your charity. St John's Ambulance also make use of the About button, which is an additional optional button you can choose to make use of. They've changed the wording on that to What We Do, which clicks through to another page where they can give a bit more information about what the charity does. Finally, you have got your fully branded tribute gardens. This is a separate page which hosts all the much loved pages supporting your charity. So Optimum partners can choose to link to that from their own websites. On the page itself, you can decide what you want to show at the top. For example, the most recent, a tribute with recent donations, or perhaps special days such as anniversaries or birthdays. So I'm going to hand you over to Michelle now, who is going to talk about other features available to you.
Thank you, Jane. So yeah, another great option available to you is the ability to name your tributes by giving them a custom title. So you might have a sub-brand for your in-memory scheme or a particular name that you give your tribute funds. And with the Optimum partnership, you can actually bring that name across into the tribute pages themselves with this custom title. So as you can see here with our test charity, so we use ACSS, we have branded these as an Always in My Heart tribute fund page. So as soon as the tribute is created, that wording will appear within the title of the tribute at the top of that page. And by keeping everything around the tributes consistently named and branded, it can then feed into all your messaging and promotion. So it obviously increases that recognition, strengthens that awareness, and helps your families with that kind of deeper sense of connection by feeling they're really part of something within your charity. And then if you want to go one step further, there's an optional extra for our Optimum partners, which is the ability to add a completely bespoke theme to your tributes. So the bespoke elements of this are the image that will sit in the bottom left-hand corner of the tribute page, and also the main image that appears on the tribute if one hasn't been added at the time of creation. So you can see on this main tribute page for bowel cancer, you can see that they've got that beautiful image of the telescope in the bottom left-hand corner, and then that Star of Hope tribute page image in the top right. That would show where the lovely image of Tom currently is. So you can see from the other examples as well, the guide dogs have their beautiful, highly recognisable puppy with their butterfly on it, and obviously RNLI have their amazing lifeboat images as well. So it really ties in with that overarching in-memory campaign elements, and it keeps everything really nicely together and really recognisable. And then the automatic thoughts. So these are added to all tributes as soon as a tribute is created. And our standard Much Loved thoughts will appear for Advantage partners, but obviously signed off as from the charity themselves. But for Optimum partners, you can personalise this to a bespoke message of your choice. So I've popped some really lovely examples that we've seen from a couple of our partners, so you can see how they really tailor that wording to include the charity's aims, their values, really got their tone of voice feeding all the way through that first automatic thought that's added. And it keeps it really personal while being that first step in that stewardship journey. So you can feel really reassured that there's a personal message automatically, going on, happening in the background without you having to go onto the page and do anything yourself. And then thank you messages. So we have our donor thank you. So we all know that saying thank you is really important. We want the supporter to feel valued. We want to be able to acknowledge and share that impact that their donation is having, whilst obviously encouraging ongoing engagement and hopefully future giving as well. And actually, on a very basic human level, we kind of should say thank you as a bare minimum, let alone when that kind of in-memory motivation is wrapped in behind it as well. So all donors to Much Loved tributes receive an automated receipt from Much Loved confirming that their donation has been made, the amount, the name of charity, all that really basic stuff. But actually, as an Optimum partner, you're able to insert your own thank you message within this. And I think donors to tributes can sometimes be forgotten when it comes to thanking, and actually you could, by ignoring them, be missing out on engaging with some potentially really dedicated and passionate supporters. You know, you don't know what their link is, you don't know what their link to you or that person being remembered is. So with that bespoke thank you message, you've got that chance to really tailor that thank you and know that that's automatically sent. And obviously we've recently introduced regular giving, so we have the added option to add a separate thank you message to those giving one-off gifts than to those who set up a regular gift. So again, really able to tailor that messaging to sit with the type of support they're giving. And then moving on to tribute owner data collection. So for Optimum partners, you can make certain information mandatory for those creating a tribute through your charity website. And these are the 3 key pieces that we can make mandatory for you. Now, obviously, just to say, you still can only use this information according to their GDPR opt-ins for further communications, but obviously you're able to thank. So having an address means that you can send that written thank you, perhaps a letter with a little pin badge or support information inside, maybe even a handwritten card as part of your stewardship, which obviously feels much more personal and can really make a difference to your families in feeling seen and appreciated, and hopefully open that door to developing a deeper relationship. And then obviously if you do get opt-ins, address data can really help you understand where your supporters are based, so you can have a more targeted approach. So perhaps if you're a national charity and you want to focus a little bit more on regional engagement, so really think about those local events, those local volunteering opportunities, you can do that using this information. And again, that in turn can help supporters feel more connected with your cause and more as part of a community. And then thinking about the telephone number, so obviously a phone call to say thank you or offer a support if that's available through your charity goes a really long way. And again, it opens up that line of communication and connection between you and them. And finally, capturing that relationship information, so maybe the family link or just that connection to the deceased. It again helps you tailor that communication and engage that supporter in a way that's relevant for them. So if the tribute has, for example, been set up by a colleague, then you might decide to steward them slightly differently or communicate slightly differently to somebody who perhaps might be a close family member. And then looking at our branded email footers, so the footer of all automated emails that are sent out via your MuchLoved service, such as password reminders, tribute information emails, notification messages, they will include a branded email footer, which will look something like this. So you can actually change the wording on this if you would like to. So perhaps the way we've signed it off with kind regards just doesn't fit with your natural charity tone. We can change that for you. We can add a short message underneath the logo if you want to. So again, it's just keeping everything really tailored to your tone of voice and your charity messaging. So I'm going to hand over to Katie now, who's going to take you through the partner area.
Brilliant, thanks Michelle. Yep, as Michelle said, we're going to quickly whiz through some functionality of the partner area. And in the partner area, this is where you can see all the tributes that are raising funds for your charity. On the opening page, you will have a list of all your tributes, and at a quick glance, you can see where they came from. So, for example, if they came from a funeral director, if they came via your links. Or, of course, if they came via MuchLoved. They all have slightly different icons, and if you've got any queries, then you can ask your account manager to run through that with you. But basically, it means you can help create a bigger picture for you to understand where your supporters are coming from. In this partner area is also where you can make your life a little bit easier, using customized references to suit you. Maybe you want to add the deceased CRM number and or the next of kin. Maybe you want to add a destination or a source code. With the customized references, you can use them for whatever you feel would benefit yourselves. Then when you download the relevant reports, you have all that information you need in one place, making re-uploads a lot easier. Or if you have an integration, that information gets pulled to help you keep your database nice and clean. We have in the past done some webinars about APIs and how that works, and I believe Michelle is about to pop a little link into the chat box. So if you ever want to explore APIs, then perhaps have a quick look at that and get in touch with your account manager. Also, in your partner area, you can ensure that the total is always complete, no matter how you receive the funds. So maybe you might receive some cash or some checks. You can pop into the back end of the tribute and add that as an offline total. This helps your supporter understand how much they have raised as a full total without having to contact you or your supporter care teams, helping keep queries to your charity to a minimum. In this same area, you can make any amendments necessary. So maybe you might have a supporter call up because they've made an error and they don't know how to change it and they're getting quite distressed. You can pop into the back end and just make that little amendment. It's a simple edit, change and save format like most internet-based forms. Again, keeping life nice and simple for you. So moving on, we have the grief chat function. It really is a lovely tool to help your supporters. It's a little chat box that can pop up on whichever page you choose to place it, offering bereavement support via a chat box like many banking apps and in fact many shopping apps that are available now. It pops up asking, "Hi there, I'm a bereavement counsellor. Would you like to chat to me today?" And then if your supporter chooses to engage, they will be connected with a qualified bereavement counsellor to support them, really helping to show your supporters that you really do care and provide that much needed support without you having to have the expertise. MuchLoved candles, a very much loved part of our platform. Both Advantage and Optimum partners can use alerts to receive notifications that a tribute has been created to support their charity, and then many choose to pop in to light a virtual candle and add a message of condolence. Optimum partners can also pre-light a candle. So for example, you may get that alert that a page has been set up and you pop in and there will be the funeral details. You could pre-light a candle to go live on the day of the funeral, showing that you're really being thoughtful and caring. Or maybe you might like to set some Christmas candles. We have many of our partners that go in at the start of December and pre-light candles for later in the month, especially on Christmas Eve, helping make their December life a little bit easier. Events is quite a big one at this time of year, but as an Optimum partner, you can create your own event, and then all tributes that were created via your own widgets and links can find these events and add them to their tributes, meaning that they can have a special event page where you can have updates and its own running total that then gets added to that overall tribute total. It's a great tool for special in-memory events like sunset walks or light up a life events, really showing that you are thinking about how tributes can be used and how supporters can utilise them. And dedication pages. We thought we'd take this chance to remind you that with both our Optimum and our Advantage partnerships, you can use our dedication pages. They're a great support. They're great to support campaigns across the fundraising function. It doesn't just have to be in memory. It's a page where a community can come together in one place to support your charity. It can be to remember loved ones, like this example. It can be something like funding a Christmas crew and sending well wishes for those that are working over a Christmas period. Dedication pages are so versatile, so you can let your creativity run wild. We thought it was important to mention it today, as we know many of you will already be thinking about your Christmas campaigns. So we thought we'd give you a gentle reminder about the dedication pages and how they can enhance those campaigns for you. Everything is templated to make it nice and simple. However, if you do want something a little bit more bespoke, you can have this banner as a bespoke image for £130. Just get in touch with your account manager, let them know what you want, and together you can create something really beautiful. And lastly, as Jane mentioned at the start of this, don't forget to utilise the all important support sites that can be found in your partner area. There's a huge amount of information in there. There is social media posts, past webinars. There's so much to utilise. It really is a much loved font of all knowledge.
And that brings us to the end of our presentation. Thanks everybody for coming along. If anyone's got any questions, please do pop them in the chat box. As I mentioned at the start, the recording will be available on the charity support site in a couple of days. And if there's any features that you're not currently making use of and you would like to, just reach out to your account manager and we will get that all sorted out for you. But aside from that, all I want to say to everyone is have a really lovely day and we'll see you at the next webinar.
There is a quick question, Jane, about candles.
Oh, which I can't see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Is there a way to set up an automatic candle with bespoke messaging when somebody creates a page in the same way we can create an automatic thought? That's a really good question, actually. No, you can't, but it is a really lovely idea. At the moment, the automatic initial element that's added to a page is a thought. But that's something we can perhaps talk about at MuchLoved.
Absolutely. Also, how do you know if you're an optimized partner? If you're in any sort of doubt, I would say contact your account manager. There's a quick way to tell if you're in your partner area and your opening page is all your tributes and it's a gold banner across the top, that means you're an optimum partner. If it's any other colours and you're presented with the report section, then you're not. But get in touch and we'll be happy to help.
Can I just add about the bespoke messaging for a candle? It is something that we are looking at. So I can't make any promises in terms of development timings, but it's definitely kind of going on the roadmap. Might be a quite early on stages, but it's definitely something that we're looking at. So I just wanted to add that.
And Lucy's asking which icons show the different types of people who are setting up the pages. The green globe is via links on your website. The grey dove is the funeral director. The grey globe is through the funeral create on your website. And MuchLoved is just a purple icon, is that correct?
Purple ribbon, like our logo. Yeah. And then there's the orange world, which is the create tribute.
Okay. Ali, what is the price difference between Advantage and Optimum partners? I will email you after this, so just so I can send you a list of everything as well. But Advantage partners are £720 plus VAT. Optimum partners are £1,600 plus VAT for the subscription and a one-off technical setup fee of £1,900 plus VAT, which is reduced to £1,400 if you're upgrading from Advantage. But I'll put this all on an email for you as well.
Just going to jump on and share. This is our test ACSS partner area. So just so you can see, so if you've got a gold bar along the top, like Katie said, that gives you an indication that you're an Optimum partner, and also you'll have access to all of these features along the top. If you're an Advantage partner, it will be, what colour is it? Purple.
I always get mixed up between the blue and the purple, which is why I didn't say it.
Fair enough. And then this, what I really wanted to show you was the source codes, because I thought it would actually be useful to be able to see these. So the black circle with a dove in it means that the page is set up by a funeral director. And if you hover over it, you can then see which funeral director that page was created through. And then if it's got a gold circle with a dove in it, it means that the page has been created by someone within your organization. And they can do that by clicking on tributes and then create a tribute. And then you can complete the create wizard, set the tribute page up, and then hand it over to your supporter. So that's a really nice additional stewardship tool to be able to have as an Optimum partner. And then you've got a few others. So you've got a green dove in it, and if a green circle or globe, and that means that page is being set up directly through one of your special partner links. So or the landing page, for example. So if you've linked to that somewhere, then that's how that page is being created. And then you've got an orange globe, so that means it's being created directly through your Tribute Create widget, which potentially is embedded directly within your website. I'm not sure we've got a black globe, but if there's a black globe, it means that the tribute page has been created through the funeral collection widget that we would have given you, because we would have given you 2 different create widgets. So yeah, so I thought it might be useful just to show you guys whilst we were here.
Okay, well, if that's the end of the questions, thanks again for coming. I hope it was useful. Any queries at all, do reach out for your account managers, or if you're not sure who your account manager is, just email support@muchloved.com, and have a lovely day, everybody.